Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Neosunderground, and I'm going to be reviewing the JGM4S system today. I bought this gun off of eBike for $160, but it was marked back to $140, so I saved about 20 bucks, which is always good. Out of the box, this gun shoots about 400 or so feet per second, which is actually pretty damn decent. Let's see, it shoots about 11 rounds per second with your standard 8.4 volt battery, and overall I think it's a pretty good gun. I got it a couple months ago. I've used it in the field twice since then, and it performed rather nicely. Alright, so out of the box you get of course your gun, your high cap magazine, which is metal. It's a wind up, of course, and it has a little hex screw in there to do the speed winding, so I don't have to wind up this forever. It holds 350 rounds. You have your standard 8.4 volt battery, which I would highly recommend upgrading to a 9.6 volt. As you will get an increased rate of fire. You get a cleaning rod, and you get a manual as well. So with the stock, you have your sling mount, which is metal, and you have your buffer tube, which of course is metal. What I had to do was I had to tighten the screw within the buffer tube itself because it was a little loose, and I had to add strips of electrical tape on the inside of the stock itself because it was also loose. And with each of those, being tightened down, there's almost no play whatsoever in the stock, which is always nice. Your stock itself is a 6-position stock. You simply just have to push this button and then adjust to however length feels more comfortable to you. I added a bit of this squishy, like mouse pad material just for added comfort, and it helps out a lot. I found it's quite comfortable. Next, on the body of the gun, you have your trigger, your mag release, your dust cover, your charging handle, and I forget what this is, but it does nothing virtually. It's just for fun to push, whatnot. All of those parts are metal, except for this. That's just plastic as well. All of the gun's body itself, that is all high-grade ABS plastic. It is durable. You don't have to worry about it breaking on you. Let's see. You have your sights, which are flip-up sights. You can adjust your windage and height, which is a nice feature, but I don't really use it because I have a red dot sight on it. Next, you have your handguard, which is also ABS plastic. You have your rails, which are metal, and you have to install each of these rails on the handguard. When you first get the gun, it's easy. You basically just have to use a flathead screwdriver and just screw in the screws. Simple. Next, you have your whole outer barrel, which stops at about here, with the flash hider on, which is all metal as well. You have your fire select, which is also metal. You you have safe, you have semi, you have auto, and as you can hear, it clicks into place rather nicely. It has a nice and crisp sound to it, which is always attractive. You have your sling mount here, which actually just, it just unscrews, and it can be screwed into any one of these rail systems here, which is nice if you like to have your sling on either, your left or right side. It allows for that. You have your charging handle, of course, which opens up, and you get your dust cover, and it allows access to your hop-up in there. Now, if you can see, I don't have my hop-up in there right now, and I don't have my inner barrel in there right now because I just ordered a Prometheus bucking, which should hopefully be here tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. I have installed this type R barrel. It's a 6.03 millimeter, and it's 509 millimeters long. And I've also attached this mock silencer to it to accompany the extra, length of the barrel. So it'll sit here. It sits at about right here. So overall, the gun itself is about 32 inches stock, and mine is about 38 inches stock, and that's because of the additional length with the silencer. I have found that my accuracy has kind of increased with the Type R barrel, which is always nice. Now on to installing your battery. It's quite simple, really. Just have to twist these screws, just kind of push in and twist until it pops out like so. On each side, just comes out. And then, as you can see, you just have to open it up, and you have to install your battery, and just attach the hookups. So that is how that's done. Now, as I said, I would highly recommend upgrading to a 9.6 volt battery, as you gain about 5 or so rounds per second. I'm shooting about 15 to 16 rounds a second, so it is a lot better than a stock battery, of course. Now, a small type 9.6 volt won't fit in the handguard, so what I had to do, I had to take a Dremel and just kind of Dremel about half of this away or so, to allow for the battery to fit in there. And once that is done, it's a tight squeeze, but it fits in there rather nicely. So it does fit. It just takes a bit of modding, which isn't too bad. What I want to do with this gun is, I have a Prometheus bucking coming, which I'll let install, and I am going to order the R-hop which allows for greater accuracy and also distance. If you haven't heard of the R system, Hunter Seeker 5 is the one who sells them. It's $12, which includes shipping. It's a great deal. I should have that coming hopefully in a couple weeks. I also ordered a vertical grip, which I'll attach to the handguard rail system right here, and it's a folding one, so it just, it'll just kind of, come down like this when I need to use it, and then it'll retract back up when I don't. So I thought that'd be kind of handy. What I want to do with the gearbox eventually is get the 13:1 gear ratio, which increases your rounds per second. I want to get the Lonex A2 Titan high torque motor. I want to get a new piston, and for the short-term goals, I want to get a good shim job, and I'm going to correct the angle of engagement, and I should hopefully get that done in a couple weeks as well. So it'll be operating at where I want it to be. I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait. Now this gun won't come with the paint job on it. I did this myself. I did this a couple days ago. I chose the Red Tiger because I thought it looks pretty badass, and I'm quite pleased with the outcome. It took just a couple hours. I spray painted the whole gun with black first. I did a couple coats of that, which took about a half hour or so. Then I used stencils I made, and used a cherry red spray paint to spray paint each of the pattern pieces you see, and then I did a couple coats of the gloss clear coat on top. In all, it took about 2.5 hours, so not all that bad, and it was well worth it, and I am quite pleased with it. If you want, I will upload a video of when I next paint a gun, and I'll show you all of the steps needed. If you guys want that, I'll also have a link to the gun itself on eVike, and to all of my aftermarket pieces. I'll also include a link to Hunter Seeker 5's hop-up system, and I think that does it, YouTube. Alright, this is Neosunderground, and I appreciate your view, and if you would like to subscribe, please do. I will be making more airsoft videos in the future. I plan to do reviews of all my guns, and also gear, if you guys wish. Alright, thank you very much.